Hello ladies and gents, we're here during Recycle Week, and most of you have shoes that are old and battered but are very comfortable. So the aim today is to upcycle shoes so that they can be worn again. This pair were quite battered and worn at the heels and around the toes. So this is them after they've been upcycled using water-based glue and some glitter. I like to use a wee container that has a lid that can be sealed tight, because it just means that if you have to use it again, you have some prepared. So I'll give you a wee quick demonstration. Just depending on the amount that you're going to need for your shoe, but we'll just make a wee test today. So it's a wee test of the water-based glue, which you can get locally, and then we'll pop in then some glitter. Just on top of it, just about the same amount of glitter basically as glue, and then just stir it until it's well mixed, and you can just keep stirring. This way you use less glitter. Sometimes people would cover the shoe in the glue and then sprinkle the glitter over it, but this way here is definitely much easier. So we'll go on to the one that's already prepared, and that's it here. So we've got the shoe, and obviously we don't want any around the lower edge of it. And you can use tape, you can use masking tape, or this is like electrical tape. And just, it's easier in small pieces. So you can just pull your shoe up and pop it around the heel area, particularly. Anywhere you don't want the glitter, make sure you tape it off. So that's on there. And I like to cut it in wee small pieces because you can manage them better. And just down the side. So you're just going right out to the sole and just do that round. Anywhere that you've got a bit of something to stick it on there. So, to keep your shoes fresh as well, you can put in a tea bag when you take them off at night. Put a tea bag, just an ordinary tea bag that hasn't been used, into your shoe, each one on each shoe, and that'll help to absorb any moisture in the shoe. Or you can put the rind of an orange in as well. It's best to pop paper inside, and that way then you're stretching the shoe out so that as if it's in wear. And overstretch it as opposed to understretch it, because when your foot goes on the end, you don't want to be cracking it. So there we go, that's it done. And the next thing you do now is just give your Mod Podge a wee stir, and then we'll start then just applying it to the shoe. Just give it a better stir. And you're better putting it on fine and adding to it as opposed to putting big lumps on. So we can just make our way around the shoe. And you keep doing that until the shoe's covered. And again, if there's a wee crack or a wee flaw, make sure and put plenty around that area, and that'll help to disguise it. So you can use any type of brush, or you can use the sponge as well. Just stirring it up to get some on this. There we go. Sure, go and wash that first here, because I prefer that one. And we'll leave it a glue in that to keep it moving. Right, so what happened was that it dried out a wee tiny bit because it left the lid off for too long, obviously. So I've just put another bits of glue on it, and then that'll give it a wee bit more movement on it. It takes a few hours for it to dry out. The longer you let it dry, the better, because it'll not fall off again. So just try and keep it as even as possible. Don't worry about going over the top, because when it dries you can rub your finger around it and it just falls off.
How many layers would it normally take, Margaret?
I would say two's usually enough. And it's better putting it on thinner and letting it dry and then doing a second coat. So it's nice and relaxing. It's the colour now.
And could you do the same thing with a handbag so it matches?
You can. So if you have a handbag that's got a bit tired and worn, then you can just do the same. You're better to give them a wash beforehand. So if it would be particularly dirty, I would use a wee 1/3 baking soda, 1/3 white vinegar, and 1/3 water. Paste it, make it into a paste. Paste it on and let it dry overnight, and then just brush it off then, and that'll clear them for you. Or if you don't have those ingredients, you could just put just a washing up liquid and use a sponge. So it's just a case of continuously putting it on. Okay. So you can see now that it's just building up. So you can use any colour. The glitter in these shoes was just a combination of small tits that were left in different jars, and I put them all in together. So it gives you a good random colour. But you can do it using one colour. And keep it going until your area is covered. Even a child could do this. So if a child had sneakers or shoes, it would be a lovely afternoon's entertainment, because all you have to do is put down a covering on your table and the child can do it. And it's also good for children's concentration, building up their concentration as they get involved in crafts. You could have a party, well maybe not at the minute, but a shoe embellishing party.
And what about the finishing detail then on the...
The finishing detail is a bow. You can make your own bow. That one happens to be already made, and it's made from sequins. But if you had a ribbon, you could just tie the ribbon on the bow and put it on the front. And again, I just glued it on using high-tack glue. So we can leave that then to dry. And when that's dry, we can put another layer on and then attach the bow then here. So when I attach the bow, I'll just use, sorry, I can show you attaching the bow on another shoe here. This is a very sticky glue, so it's for crafts. cards and hobbies, and you can get that again locally in any of the haberdashery stores. So the like of this pair of shoes, I put the same idea with the bow on it, and what you do is just put your glue, the high-tech glue, on the back of the bow. Keep it towards the middle because it'll squeeze out towards the centre of the edges then. So, and on these shoes they had just a wee soft shoeless bow, but these just make them so much more elegant. Just pop the bow down. Your washing line pegs, clothes pegs, and just put those on the side to keep the bow in place. Keeps it from moving and sticks it down in, and then the same there. You can also put something heavy on top of it as well if you want, for extra strength on it. And then on the back of this shoe then, I have just put a wee embellishment of fake diamantes. So it's just a case of measuring out the amount that you need, cutting off, put up to there. And again, these can be found in any card making shop. It's just on a roll, and just measure it out. One more of it, and 3. So cut it down to 3. The high-tech glue again, so down with the seam joints at the back. And pop your piece on. So because it's deeper there, so what I would do is just get a wee piece of tape and just tape it in place until it dries. Just make sure it's straight and tape it in place. This is the tape I used in the other shoe, so you're not wasting a whole load of tape. So once I took it off the other shoe, just put it back on the roll, and then I've used it again as well. So that's this shoe now, with the bow attached, which is exactly the same way this bow will be attached to this one. And then that's your shoe there then. So the gluing on is grand, but this particular one here now, it's just your regular loafer. Sometimes you just get tired of the shoes as opposed to them becoming scuffed or whatever. So what I've done, I have cut out just a piece of felt. You can buy this felt $2.99 and for all of that. So it's a great buy. So this is the funky animal prints, and it's just felt. So you can open it up, funny enough with the same one out, fold it in half because you do need 2 of them, and then put your on top pins. So then we can pin this on, and a pen, Charlotte. So that's it on. Now it's pinned in place so that it doesn't move, and then you can draw around it then with a pen or pencil, whatever you have at hand. Right, and then cut it out. So I'm just cutting the 2 at the one time, means the 2 of them are the same size. Just cut right around it. pins out. So you can have any amount of animal prints. So just slide this under the band and slip it through. So let's do that. There we go. So they don't even have to be glued on, but to stop them from flapping about as you're walking, you can then use glue dots, which are, you can get in the craft stores as well. They're just wee dots of glue on a roll. So the best way to do it is to put one dot on and stick it to the fabric, and then peel the fabric, and you've got your glue dot on the back, and just put it down onto place. And maybe it means that these can be taken off, and you can use the shoe again then for another colour. And then take them off. So what we'll do is we'll just cut one off because they're all so close, they're sticking, and attach it to the felt, and then peel the tape off the felt. So you can decide which colour shoe. It depends on what outfit I suppose you're wearing. And there's oranges and leopard skin and giraffes. So you can just do it with them all and decide which shoes you want to wear that day. Same pair of shoes, different top on them.